Chat and I came up with a sweet new vintage brew using Orcish Lumberjack, Food Chain, Fury, Pitch Cast, and Hard Casting Oliphants? Could this deck actually work? Let's try it in a vintage league. All right, welcome back, Vintage Gamers 2, Wednesday Night Vintage, which means we're doing something off the wall. We're brewing. On last Saturday's challenge stream, we had a round one buy and we had some time to brew. And I was very surprised when I searched the internet. I never found any decks that combined Orcish Lumberjack with the card Food Chain. I just have recently saw a legacy list. It was a Food Chain list using Imperial Recruiter and Squee. Not the Squee that you're normally used to, but Squee the Immortal. And I was really enticed by the idea of pitch casting Fury and then exiling it to Food Chain and like casting Oliphant. That kind of seemed like a really cool idea to me. And so I built the rest of the shell around that. So we have Imperial Recruiter getting Questing Druid, a nice little pseudo draw spell. Collector Oof, Magus of the Moon, Squee combo. Squee with Food Chain is infinite creature mana, so you could do that and then play an infinite ballista. We are a red-green, kind of a stompy deck because we're going to play 4 Collector Oof and 4 Magus of the Moon. Magus of the Moon doesn't really work super well with Orcish Lumberjack, but for these stompy decks to work in Vintage, you need a certain amount of cards that disrupt your opponent. And so I think 4 Collector Oof, 4 Magus of the Moon is the way we're going to stop our opponent from murdering us. And then we're going to do our fun thing. So yeah, we're going to try to use Orcish Lumberjack in combination with a Food Chain combo, as well as being a red-green stompy deck. Just hard casting Oliphants and Furies has been quite good. And then in the sideboard, we have our own Force of Wills by playing Simian Spirit Guide Pyroblast. We have a nice Ingot Chewer, the Evoke Destroy Artifact creature. Could do the similar thing with the Food Chain. Ley Lines for Dredge, a nice little Reclamation Stage that we can tutor up with Recruiter in case we get paired against Oath, and some Mindbreak Traps. I tested this in a league and it went fairly well. Collector Roof and Magus of the Moon particularly good against opposing Tinker strategies, but you are still pretty weak to just being less powerful of a deck, and if they force your Collector Roof, then things can go south very quickly. So hopefully today we will beat a bunch of people down with Furies and Oliphants, and if we can get a single Food Chain kill, I will be very happy. See you in round 1. Are you interested in weekly vintage metagame recommendations? Do you want to see your deck list played on my channel? Or maybe you are just looking for the best way to support my vintage content? Make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description below. Let's battle. All right, here we go. We got a battler. Round 1. We've got our Applejacks deck up against Serial 1, 2, 3, 4. Our hand has not a lot of payoff, not a lot of strong cards, but it does have a Collector Roof and a Black Lotus. Classic bug start. I think I'm willing to keep this hand. Maybe we can draw into some more action. A nice draw with this hand would be like a Questing Druid. This is a classic. What is that? Oh no. We're getting fast bonded. Where's our Magus of the Moon? Uh-huh. That's it? Okay. Hopefully we can find a Magus of the Moon. We have Imperial Recruiter as well to find Magus of the Moon. So what do we want to do? I think we just get a basic forest and we Collector, Oof, and Lumberjack, and then hope to draw action. All right. I have the mana to play like Fury and stuff too, so a lot going for us, but we don't really have the best start. We have like this collector roof is good against probably not my opponent's deck. Is this for YouTube? Yep. How did you know, opponent? How could you tell? Loam. All right. My opponent's going to start going off with this fast spawn loam action. We don't really have ways to interact with the graveyard. We're just looking for a food chain into an Imperial Recruiter, or simply like finding a big creature to play. Or, hear me out. We just play all of our lands, yeah? So like, there's not that many lands in my deck, right? I have 15 lands in my deck. I feel like this happens a lot. Oh, next turn we can make a Ballista 3/3. Wait, so they just dredged with their loam and hit Manifold Key Lorien Force. That was not what I expected. This kind of reminds me of the old, if anyone remembers what's his name? He used to play the crazy 5-color fast pawn deck. Schultz? All right, can I get like an Oliphant? What? This is crazy. I feel like I'm being trolled. All right, I am just gonna play a 3/3. Attack. I think opponent's is probably playing some kind of, fast spawn after they saw maybe Brian Koval play it. All right, so they did hit Tropical Besage here, so now they can loam some stuff back. Though, notably, if they use the Wasteland this turn, they can't loam back the Wasteland unless they have drawn a land. They haven't drawn a land for turn because we know that they drew loam. So they can't let Wasteland me this turn, which is nice. I can't pump my Ballista, which is kind of unfortunate because I have a Collector Roof in play, a classic combination. But is my opponent going to hold the Besage to kill the Ballista? Feels like that's happening. They need 2 mana, though. And they're about to take a big hit. Another Collector Roof. All right, well, this didn't really go as I planned, but my opponent didn't really do the thing, so this is enough damage that my second Collector Roof will be lethal. I guess I should have played a land in case I got dazed. I really would hope my opponent wouldn't have dazed in the Wasteland Waterlogged Grave deck, but I probably should have played around it. All right, well, my opponent needs to do something powerful soon, or else they're going to die to 2/2s, 1/1s, and 3/3s. Only the most powerful vintage happens on Wednesday night. I think the Not Me version of lands is probably the one I like the most as well. With the Valakut explorations. So my opponent does have the ability to kill this Walking Ballista with a Besage, but they have to do something else because I have 5 power. They're going to draw a card and look for an out. Yeah, it's pretty similar to a cube, actually, yeah. My opponent has a very interesting deck. It's a fast spawn deck, but it's still a blue deck with like Force of Will and Lorien Revealed. There's a Manifold Key. So I think we want to bring in a Rex Sage and Leylines. I'm not convinced yet that we want to bring in Pyroblast. But I don't think we need Fury. So we'll just take Fury out and we'll trim. We definitely want all of our Magus of the Moon. We'll trim 1 Collector Roof and 4 Fury and play like this probably. Let's try that. All right, what do we have this time? So I do think that Magus of the Moon is our absolute best card in the matchup. But we don't have any fast mana. I don't know how detrimental that is. Like, are we gonna just die on turn one if we don't have fast mana to cast Magus of the Moon? I guess I'm willing to find out. Let's try it. I do think that like that there can't possibly be a better card in this matchup than Magus. So Wasteland. That's a good sign. We didn't get fast bond on turn one. We can play around that. We want to fetch basic forest anyways. Ooh, fast mana. I don't feel like it's good to play out the well. Yeah, I don't think I need to play out the fast mana, right? What's the downside? Vigor or something? All right, so now we're in a pretty good spot, I would think. We have fetch basic forest, ruby, taiga, magus. I think we're actually really... I mean, maybe they have Force of Will for the first magus. Maybe we should fetch... Maybe we should get basic... Okay. I instead am going to not cycle my Oliphant because my opponent revealed a strip mine. Instead, I do think I'm still fetching basic forest, right? Maybe I should just fetch taiga and then... No, I can't fetch basic forest off Oliphant, so let's just fetch basic forest. All right. Will my opponent wasteland my board away? Will they force my magus? All right, so they had a force for my magus. All right, so now if they wasteland my board away, I still have another land because I have the Oliphant. So that's not too bad. My opponent should probably not strip mine me right away. They should wait until their turn, get more information. But I'm not happy about the current situation. We are actually like mostly red deck. The forest is pretty important, but all right, so they have an emerald. That's not good. Emerald's a good top deck because it can let them play like fast bizarre. Okay. One thing our deck can't really do is cast the Leyline of the Void. It can technically Black Lotus it out, but that's about it. All right, my opponent has Zoran Orb, Life from the Loam, Crop Rotation, and then played a Crucible of Worlds. So they have no cards in hand. So if I simply Magus them right now, they're doomed, right? Yeah. Looks pretty dead. All right. Everything's a mountain. Sorry, friend. Oh, I should have cycled my Oliphant and played my land for turn. Noted. I guess they can make green mana off this emerald, which is pretty good. I guess there's no reason to do that now, because this comes in. Let's just get a Rex Sage in here. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to hit the emerald. No, it can't be, right? Like, if they... I guess they have loam. I'm probably supposed to just hit the emerald, right? Because they can't do the loam thing. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't hit the emerald. I don't know why I didn't do that. It looks much better, doesn't it? Like, this doesn't do anything because even if they... Like, they're just going to mill over... I mean, if they have basics, I guess, but... I think I'm just turning this Oliphant into a... taiga, and then I can go druiding. Not with the green, though. All right, so I'm going to seek the beast and see what happens. I hit lumberjack quest. I hit lumberjack and recruiter. So lumberjack's not very useful at this point. I only have one forest and I don't want to get rid of it. So I can just go recruiting. Have a good one. And I guess with this recruiter, I can get a collector roof to turn off that emerald. It's pretty good. What is this? Dismember? Wow, I should have attacked first. What a misplay. I got punished for my wanting to F6 there. Cool. Sun-scorched desert. Okay. Well, now I really wish I had recruited for a second Magus, but my opponent is still really far behind. They don't have a Crucible in play. They do have a Loam. It's kind of an interesting deck. It's got a lot of tech pieces, but I wonder if the blue count's actually high enough. I'm getting wastelanded. Interesting. Oh, they didn't go for my forest? Odd. Hmm. Collector Roof now is like a little bad for us, right? And they also got rid of all their mana. What's their plan? I don't really know what their plan is, to be honest. Well, let's attack first. Let's not make the same mistake as last time. I don't really feel like a Questing Druid is very good right now with my current mana situation. Oh, sorry. Seek the Beast is very good with my current mana situation. I feel like we're better off just playing the fetch land and casting one of these, the one from Exile. It's not like I can play a Magus off a Seek the Beast or anything like that, so... I just don't know what my opponent's plan is really here, because they don't really have anything going on, and we have a bunch of 2-power creatures again. It looks pretty bad for them. I'll get my Stomping Ground. Oh, we hit a Recruiter as well. It's pretty good. Let's go get another Magus. Excuse me, sorry. I mean, they're already dead to the creatures, though. Like, does this Magus matter? I guess it matters for, like, Glacial Chasm or something. I don't really think my opponent was supposed to get rid of my lands, right? Shouldn't they be, like, loaming or something? I'm not really sure. I don't know my opponent's deck very well, so I don't really know what the plan is. But all I do know is it loses to bears, so. Okay, let's do it again, chat. I'm on the play this time. I have... Okay. I accept. I've got a lot of our hateful cards. I have 2 pieces of mana. I have the ability to kill creatures if they're on mono white. Emerald. Mm-hmm. And... Uh-huh. This oof's looking good. Oh, Pio. Mm-mm. And Saga. Okay, so if my oof resolves, we're almost certainly winning this game. If my oof gets countered, we're almost certainly losing this game. Best draw is Black Lotus, which lets us play both of them on the same turn. Magus and Collector Roof, that is. I mean, Lauren Revealed gets you wasting sagas, right? Seems like a play. Yeah. I think that's going to just be the entire game is, does this Collector Roof resolve? And I'm not sure how much else will matter. Because if my Collector Roof resolves, it means they don't have their Sensei's Top. It means they don't have mana. It means they can't use their Saga. When their Saga goes away, it's vanishing and becomes something that they can't use. I guess they technically could have like a Swords or a Bolt or something, but usually you don't play that in the main of a deck that's playing Mox Opal. Unfortunately, our Fury is going to be a little rough here. I'm wondering if the 4 squeeze is a mistake. I was thinking about it a lot. Jesus. Okay. Does it make any sense to spin then? Why would we spin and then cast Ancestral? Isn't it better to just cast Ancestral and then if like we have a problem, we spin on the stack? Yeah. All right. Well, this is the game. Decided on turn 2. Does my 2 mana 2/2 resolve? Resolving is winning. Getting forced is losing. My opponent, Ancestral. I mean, I'm just gonna F6. I don't have anything to do about this. I just play my game, put my oofs in play, put them on the stack, I guess. Oh, you can do it, opponent. You can do it. I believe. Last seen 3 days ago playing Pio. Let's take a peek. Survey says, oh, this is the painter Pio person. Ah, so they have 3 Pyroblast main, 2 negation. This might just resolve. It does resolve. I need to make sure I don't attack into like random snapcasters and stuff, but oh, my opponent does have Lorien revealed. That does help. See, if my opponent had simply Ancestraled first, then they would have been able to spin with the top and look for a force. I don't know why we spun and then Ancestraled. That was the big problem here. All right, so my opponent does have an Underground Sea, and then they have a Ponder, but this is still going to be vanishing, and they still can't use their artifacts. If we hit a land off the top or a Simian Spirit Guide, we can cast this Magus, killing the Saga right away, and turning off their UC, probably winning the game on the spot. All right, land? How is it that last game we drew 100 lands, and this game we drew 0 lands? All right, well, hopefully this oof holds down the fort long enough. What was the removal spells? Did we see? Did we when we look at this list? What was the removal spells? They just have Painter Pyro is the only removal. Okay, it's just Painter Pyro. All right. Well, the good news is the Orcish Lumberjack does represent mana. The bad news is it's an Orcish Lumberjack. Next turn we'll have 5 mana. We might even want to just like Recruiter for a second oof. I don't know if that's better than jamming a Magus. Probably not. Magus is pretty good here. Yes, I'm aware that Magus and Lumberjack are not a combination. I am aware, but I just don't think it matters. Well, considering I have my opponent's deck list from 3 days ago, I think I won't play around the Double Spirit Guide Ambush Viper. Demonic Tutor? But they don't have any removal in their deck. So what do they tutor for? Tolarian Academy? Yeah, okay. It's pretty damn good. 5 Moxen can cast Lorien or Pio for 5. It's pretty sweet. If I had just drawn a land for turn, this wouldn't have happened. Oh well. What's a guy to do? Is it going to be Lorien or Pio? Either way, they're drawing a million cards. If they don't have removal, they just don't have outs. Is this a true statement? If their only removal is Pyroblast, and I mean, they can just Volcanic Island, Painter Servant, Pyroblast. That's their out. The key here is if I guess Magus of the Moon is actually not good against their removal, which is funny because it turns the things into mountains, so they can just play the stuff. I might just be dead here, to be honest, because my opponent is just going to draw a million cards and then kill my oof and I'll lose. I don't know. I'm gonna need to get redundant pieces in play. Is the what we're gonna need to do. Yeah, I mean they can't do anything this turn, but they did just draw 5 cards, right? So it's like unlikely that our Magus resolves now. I would hope. We just have not drawn good cards here. All right, so we can either Recruiter for a oof and cast it, or we can simply play a Magus. The problem is we do lose our Taiga, right? No matter what we choose to do here. Our Stomping Ground or whatever. I don't really think I have other options, though, so... Yeah. I mean, I think it's just really bad for us. We don't even have the ability to, like, Recruiter Oof next turn either. If we had drawn, like, a food chain, we win the game on the spot, right? If it were like, if we were to resolve a food chain, we would win the game on the spot. It's kind of interesting. But, like, my opponent is just going to use their Tolarian Academy every turn to draw 5 cards, right? Like, it's just super doomed. Like, now they're going to draw 6 cards this turn. This is all because I missed a land drop. Yeah, and then eventually they're going to go Painter Pyro. This is a really rough game to lose, but I guess they cast Ancestral and our Click Roof resolved, so maybe we just need to be thankful for that. Because like we were basically 0 to win if they did have a force for my Collect Roof. Time Walk. Oh, they played Painter. That's really good. That gives us a chance to Fury the Painter. It's actually really good for us that they chose to play this for whatever reason. They pitched Bolus Citadel Mana Vault. Did draw the land. All right, well, let's see. I don't think hard casting Fury is good. I think it's better to just pitch cast this Squee. Ooh, pitch casting Squee is kind of sick, too. Haven't gotten to do that yet. All right, they had a force. With a Bowmaster. Interesting. So now the best thing we can do is just get a second Collector Roof in play, right? I think it's better than getting like a Questing Druid. Though I have been getting Questing Druid off of Recruiter a lot just because it's like getting a draw spell. I just don't think we're beating the Stellarian Academy, unfortunately. So now every Pyroblast they have is removal. So if they have like double Volk, double Pyro, they can kill both Collector Oof. Our best draw is actually just Food Chain. Because if we draw Food Chain, we make infinite mana and Recruiter for a Ballista and kill them, right? It looked like there were 3 Pyroblasts in the last list, but this last list is not up to date because we just saw an Orcish Bowmaster, which was not in their list. And as there was also no Narset in their last list either, so definitely not the same list. So maybe there's less, maybe there's more. Hard to say. All right, you're gonna float black and 6. Now what? Yagwell? I mean, even simply Yagwell replay Saga is gonna be too much for me to beat here as well. Like I really needed to have a Magus of the Moon the turn where I had the opening. My opponent has chosen to do nothing. Maybe they're holding open force or something. Another Collector Oof. You think they just have a flash creature? It's like really bad to sack this Taiga now. I kind of wish I had an ignoble hierarch that I could get with this recruiter. All right, I'm just gonna pass. I think I don't think. I think sacking this Taiga would be really bad, and it opens us up to like, or it limits our chances to win the game. Why is Squee played in Vintage? Well, the other Squee, the Goblin Nabob, is actually very good in Vintage because you can pitch it to Bazaar of Baghdad. Whereas this Squee is not played in Vintage, and I simply am playing it in Vintage. All right, well, there's Pyroblast on Collector Roof. See if they've got another one. This is a Bowmaster. Yeah. All right, well, I'm glad I didn't attack. That seemed pretty obvious, though. All right, I can't imagine we can ever win this game from this point. But the reason I'm playing Squee in my deck tonight is because it combos with Food Chain to make infinite creature mana. Yeah, I think this one is this one's Jover. Just have another Pyroblast. Okay. Yeah, I really simply needed to draw 1 land. The turn I did not draw 1 land. All right, so I am going to board in Leylines, Pyroblasts, and Rexage and Mindbreak Traps. Not Leylines. I don't need Leylines. They're not a graveyard deck. Pyroblast, Rexage, Mindbreak Trap. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of... I guess Fury's actually fine because of Painter, right? It's really unfortunate that Magus is actually kind of annoying here, where that gives them red mana. I'm pretty sure this is just a board out Food Chain matchup. And just board in Hate and try to play Stompy style. This looks like a lot better to me. All right, so now we do have some permission in the form of Spirit Guide Pyroblast. See if we can grind out some Stompy style victories here. This hand looks great. Keep. We've got Taiga, Crypt, Magus, and then if that doesn't work out, we can try again on the next turn with something else with Recruiter. All right, Magus gets forced. Pitching PO. Wish I had Pyroblast. I just don't have it. So next turn I have up to 6 mana, so I could do it again. Jet. One thing we could do is just go get a questing beast and try to grind out because my opponent's at 4 cards now. Mana Crypt, Oliphant. Could just cast this. Kind of down. All right, turn to 6-drop. Okay. Maybe they have no answer for our 8 trampling damage. Have to see what happens. Ooh, okay. A little Magus action. Not bad. Oh, it's not 8 damage. It's only 6 damage. I lied. My bad. All right, Magus. Turn off all your blue mana. Okay. Huh. So this pumps this. Well, now we're 10 damage, right? I don't know if we want to attack into a possible Bowmaster, though. How much would we deal? We would deal... Yeah, I think I'm just going to hit with the elephant one more time before I attack. Okay, sure. Allowable. And then I guess we cycle this thing and go find another mountain. I guess we can just get a stomping ground. And then I'll turn this recruiter into... I don't know. I can't cast Collector Roof, so it's a second Magus. Or maybe the answer is just we get a questing druid, so we get 2 cards. Might just be worse than getting a Magus. Another recruiter. I mean, it's not the worst thing that ever happened, but this allows me to attack with Reckless Abandon and we'll be fine. I guess we're already like pretty much gonna win because we have 10 trampling damage. But I think it makes sense to cast this beforehand, just in case my opponent kills my Magus or something. And then attack. I guess theoretically, if they have a Bowmaster, I need to attack with this and pump this. Yeah, I'll just pump this so that... Because if I pump this recruiter and they have a Bowmaster, then I don't kill them this turn. It was 10 trample. This thing gives trample. All right. Yeah, that worked out. Okay. I kind of like that I cast a 6-drop common on turn 2 and beat the crap out of my opponent with it. That does make me fairly happy. All right, what does this hand do? Nothing. No fin. Doesn't look good. Technically, I can throw 2 Spirit Guides into Seek the Beast, but that doesn't seem like a good use of my mana. I have a bunch of permission now. I have Pyro and Mindbreak Trap and... All right, I will mulligan. All right, I have Force of Will in my opening hand, so I'm gonna keep this one. My opponent has mulligan to 5. That's exciting. The classic Force of Will right here. So what's our plan? Our plan is cycle the Oliphant, recruit for Magus or something similar. See what happens. All right, what do you got for me? If my opponent plays like an early Saga, we're pretty doomed. Wooded Foothills, my favorite. Oh, now I don't have to cycle or now I don't have to Simian Spirit Guide. Exclamation mark deck can take you to the Mox Field page where you can find this deck list and many others. I gave up on Stream Decker and Cardboard Live. Oh, but then I didn't update the freaking extension. God, dude, how am I so bad at this? It's actually not an ad, but if they want it to be an ad, we can make it happen. I don't know why I didn't update the extension. I swear I should be good at this after all of these years, but I'm not. Okay, so I updated the thingamabobber. All right, what am I doing? Passing? All right, I will elect to turn my elephant into gravy. Why no full Moxen or so lands, but Spirit Guide. So I wanted all my lands for the most part to be forest for my Orcish Lumberjack. And I didn't want many Moxen because my main plan is to collect roof my opponent. And the fourth reason is because Simian Spirit Guide Pyroblast is a turn 0 interaction. So all of those reasons. And Monkey pitches to Fury. Fifth reason. I feel like I should stop drawing lands at some point, but I haven't. I feel like I squashed my the good graces my opponent gave me because why is there strip mine? They like had a really weak start and I just did not capitalize that on it in any meaningful way. Mm-hmm. Do it, tinker me. You won't. They think they're so smart. They're gonna tinker me. Nope. Got him. Force of will. Good try. Okay, not a bad draw. Why did I play this fetch land? I guess I can go get a basic forest. I don't really need a basic forest, though. Whatever. All right, so this one's going to go get a... So this is actually an interesting question, because we can either get a questing beast, not a questing beast, a questing druid or a magus. I mean, magus is just so good here, right? Turn off all their blue mana. Just gotta be magus. So I should have fetched, I guess I'll fetch a forest off of this. It's not like I can questing Seek the Beast into a 3-drop, so it's probably not in a good spot right now anyways. Man, that pitch cast, Pyroblast, big game. Yeah, I know. It's mostly a mono red deck. But blue, black. Are we getting Bowmastered? Are we getting tutored? Are we getting removal spelled? We're getting Bowmastered. All right, that's no big deal. We lose our recruiter. We're still holding down the fort. They're out of blue mana. We've got lots of good draws that we can cast. We can cast Fury. We can cast Oliphant. We can cast Seek the Beast. Lots of good stuff. Red. They have Bolt? No. I mean, they can play Painter and then have Pyro again. They could make an attack here, and oh, they can't make an attack because they can't bluff a Bowmaster. All right, well, I drew Mindbreak Trap. Fantastic. The question is, do I play the Simian Spirit Guide? It will turn off my ability to play an Oliphant if I draw it. I think so. This Mindbreak Trap does not look good, though. Red, Painter Servant. All right, well, now we can't attack. And they do have removal again. I feel like I'm not currently winning this game. A Fury off the top would change that, though. Magus 2. Okay. That at least helps. They have Force. Pitch Saga. What? There's... Oh, I guess Saga's dead to Magus. I guess that means they don't have a Pyroblast. Or I guess they could still have a Pyroblast, and they had to force this, and then Pyroblast is their last card. Yeah, I guess that's still fine. Jet. That's not good. That gives them black mana. I don't think we're currently winning this game. Maybe they'll Demonic Tutor for a Pyroblast, and then I can Mindbreak Trap it. We are attacking with the Orc. We are representing Bowmaster in hand. All right. You got me. Yeah, I mean, that's like opens them up to getting oofed, right? But it's certainly a line they could take. Ho, 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 ho! Hello, little elemental. Boop. If they have a Pyroblast, they're going to have to Pyroblast this one. But they represented Bowmaster, so maybe they just have Bowmaster. This is not only a 3/3, but it also kills Painter Servant. Or Jet if we wanted to, but I think Painter Servant's worse for us. 5 mana 3/3? Pretty unbeatable. Agreed. All right, I think Painter Servant is better than hitting Jet here. Is there a world we destroy the Jet? I mean, sure, this world. But I'm not going to do it. Because I think killing Painter Servant's better. Like, if my opponent likely has a Bowmaster, right? They're playing like they have a Bowmaster. Killing a Jet doesn't actually help me. Whereas killing a Painter Servant means they can't draw Pyroblast and remove my Magus of the Moon, which is way more important. So they did not elect to Bowmaster and block my Spirit Guide. Oh, they have Vampiric Tutor? Oh, they have Fatal Push. So if I had Ingot Chewer the Jet, I still would have gotten Fatal Pushed, right? Okay. Quite unfortunate. All right, let's find some sweet ones. Taiga is not on the list of sweet ones. I'm just winning this race, right? I guess they could shoot. Yeah, this is fine. Olifant? Yeah, that'll win the race. Even like I mean at this point, I have 4 questing druids, which are quite good. Even a collector oof is quite good. 3 Oliphants are good. 3 recruiters are good. 2 Magus are good. A lot of good draws. Yeah, not anything besides mana, lumberjack, squee. Most of the cards I think that are left in my deck are pretty good. But land was not one of them. All right, black, grindstone, painter, no. All right, another ingot chewer is fine again as well. That's a good one. Double block, spirit guide, I assume. Oh, are we just jumping? Interesting. So or maybe they're just going for an end step second bowmaster. It's fine. Kill off the spirit guide, make a new 1/1. Yeah. Okay. Oh, what the? Stop having fatal push. God. So many fatal pushes. Demonic? No. Uh Too good. We drew pretty well, but wasn't good enough. You think so? I mean, they're gonna go ancestral into what? Lotus Painter, Mindbreak Trap it? 2 turns? Maybe. Like, they just get Painter, and then the next turn it's bad for me, right? Got him! Oh, they're going wheel? You think they're wheeling and dealing? I mean, maybe they drew land wheel. These draws have been fairly good. So they drew another Bowmaster. All right. So they can shoot the oof and then block the oof and then trade with the... It's pretty bad. I mean, I have to swing all on present lethal, right? So... The good news is we have a rec stage for this grindstone. The bad news is if they wheel and deal us, it's pretty bad. Just kill the Mox. No? No. No. Chat, what? Killing the Mox here? No way. 0%er. Nope. I mean, they can be on anything. They tutored for an ancestral and drew 3 cards. We don't know anything about what they're on. Can't force this though. What is my favorite set? I have no idea. Maybe the one that... Maybe like the Innistrad set. Innistrad, maybe? Why does my opponent have no clock left? What happened in this game? What was my first set? Technically, I learned to play Magic during Mirrodin, and then I learned to play more competitive Magic during the second Mirrodin. Scars of Mirrodin, or I don't remember what the first one in that block was, though. All right, round 3. We're doing pretty well. I said I wanted to get a 3-2, and we're currently 2-0. I'm going to keep this hand. We have a really nice setup where we can go... All right, my opponent... Ooh, Initiative. Initiative is an interesting matchup. I have not played the Initiative matchup yet. I'm excited. It looks like I have to just go basic... Sorry, I'm going to go fetch basic forest and play my mana crypt. Which means I can't use my seek here, but it's kind of unfortunate. All right, so my opponent has a Chancellor 7-card mono white draw. Our draw isn't particularly good against mono white, so that could be problematic. Like our best draws against mono white contain like a turn 1 creature into a Fury. And I can't tutor for Fury with Recruiter, which is unfortunate. I wish I could tutor for Fury. All right, Chrome Mox. Put this Chancellor under it, I assume. We don't even have the ability to Recruiter for Oof either. So that's... All right. Oh, this is just going to be Thalia? If it's just Thalia... That's okay, because we don't care about Thalia at all. I mean, we do care a little bit because we have Seek the Beast, but this is definitely the weakest thing that they could have played on turn 1. So I'm pretty happy to see Thalia here instead of anything else. I think what I might do is just play double Questing Druid. Does that make sense? Well, I was not playing Vintage during Mirrodin, so that doesn't help answer the question, right? I mean, I'm never casting Seek the Beast for 3 mana, right? So I think it just makes sense to just play 2 1/1s. It's unfortunate they don't pump each other, but... I just played a Miracle Grow. Oh, okay. All right, basic planes. Like, can they really play the initiative here? I guess they can. Oh, Lorien, kill my crypt. That's fine. I'm holding this mountain in case I get Archon, so that it would be an untapped land. Whoa, interesting. So that turns off 2. I guess they still have a white source, so it's not actually good. If we play a like I guess we don't have a Reclaimer. We only have a Collector Oof. So does it mean I should play Recruiter instead? I guess maybe I'm supposed to play Recruiter instead. What do I get with Recruiter, though? I can't get Fury. I guess I could get Walking Ballista against this board. That's kind of sick, isn't it? I think a Walking Ballista is better, right? I just get to kill both of their creatures. But I mean, I could also just get I don't know, maybe you could get like a Lumberjack and play Magus Lumberjack, get 2 spells off, make them 4/4s. Then you have a lot of mana to work with. Does my opponent have a follow-up? Like, they should be kind of scared of playing the initiative, right? Because if they play like the 3-mana initiative creature and I play a Ballista, shoot, attack, steal the initiative. Squee. I mean, there's just no way I'm not playing Ballista here. It's just so good. What can they have? They can have like nothing, right? Containment Priest main, Solitude. Like, it's fine for me to just trade in this Walking Ballista for the 2 creatures. Get in a full attack. They don't have a Caracas. I think this is fine. Keeping their creatures off the board. I mean, maybe we're just supposed to play Magus this turn because holding the Ballista is stronger. I guess if they hit another land, then they can play Hardcast Solitude. So maybe we are supposed to just Magus that turn. Another human. Okay, so they have a Seasoned Engineer. I actually don't have another basic to fetch because I fetched this basic, which still is probably right. This is pretty bad because I can't double spell, right? If I could double spell and attack, it'd be a lot better. So maybe I'll draw like a Fury or a Lumberjack or something good like that. Simply drawing a food chain is lethal because if I play a food chain, I can sack Recruiter and play Infinite Squeeze, and these become infinite. So a food chain is lethal. I drew a Fury. Sick. So I can Fury, pitch, cast, Squee, steal the initiative, double spell. No, Slasher, that's called putting cards in your deck. A lot of good draws there. It's unlucky that I haven't had a Fury until then. All right. Beating up on mono white, too. Sick. All right, what do we want against mono white, though? I don't actually have a lot of sideboard cards because we have the Furies in the main. So is it just like... I don't even know if Rex Sage is actually good. Maybe it's just some Mindbreak traps? Well, Collector Roof is really bad on the draw, but it is playable still. I'm pretty sure we're going to bring in Trap. I don't know what we want to take out, though. I feel like it's Collector Roof on the draw, though. There's something to be said about having Ingot Chewer in for Food Chain and Fury. Was Pyrokinesis ever a playable vintage card? Yeah, people used Pyrokinesis in Squee, even just recently before Fury existed. It might just be better to have... Is Magus good? Sometimes. If I, like, kill all of their artifacts and then Magus them, it's quite good. Might just be better to have all my red creatures, though, right? Like, I don't think I need these Collector Roofs. The Ingot Chewers are probably better. I just play 2 Ingot Chewers instead of Collector Roof. I don't think I need to be able to tutor for them. Maybe I need to be able to tutor to kill the last piece. Probably not. Let's try this. Is Agatha's Soul Cauldron seeing any play in Vintage? No, not really. I did play an Agatha deck, though, if you want to see it. It's on my YouTube channel. It was pretty good. I actually had a pretty good time in that league. It definitely surprised me on how strong that card was. So this hand has got to be pretty good, right? I have turn 1 Food Chain with the ability to pitch cast Fury and then Recruiter for... If I were to draw another Recruiter, I actually have a turn 1 kill, right? Or a red card. So what I can do is Mana Crypt, Food Chain, pitch cast Fury, eat my Fury with Food Chain, Recruiter for Squee, Squee for infinite mana, and then Recruiter for Ballista. So yeah. But they have a Chancellor of the Annex, so that's off the table. This is kind of the idea I had when I drew up the deck, so. Is it turn 1 Archon? Turn 1 Anointed Peacekeeper. That's annoying. I mean, if they hit Fury, I just pay Chancellor on my Crypt and I can cast Fury anyways. It does slow me down a ton, and then I can't use my Food Chain thing, and I guess it doesn't. The thing that actually slows me down is the stupid Chancellor trigger. Because if it wasn't, I didn't have a Chancellor trigger, then I could still just play Food Chain, and then like on the next turn Fury, you know? But I keep having Chancellors, so I keep having to pay for my Mana Crypt. Oh, they named Mana Crypt. What? So do I need to Fury this thing? I guess what this does, it means... No, I can simply pay for my mana... I can't pay for my Mana Crypt. I don't need to pay for my Mana Crypt, though, because at some point I just Fury them. But it does mean I can't Food Chain Fury, right? No matter how I really sequence this, there's no way for me to get to Food Chain Fury. Am I supposed to hold this Fury? I kind of want to be able to Fury like an Archon, right? Yeah, I kind of like this Mana Crypt name, because if they didn't name Mana Crypt here, I would just play Mana Crypt this turn and still accelerate my mana. So they have an Archon. I can fetch a basic so I don't get wastelanded. I think they had a smart name, and then I think I had a smart play to hold my Fury. Yep, Wasteland. So I'm still going to get beat down by this Peacekeeper, though, right? So I am still in trouble. Opponent had a really strong start. I'm surprised maybe they top decked the Archon, but like you almost never play an Anointed Peacekeeper over an Archon on turn 1, right? So they must have top decked the Archon. Though I'm still like super far away from casting anything. Sure. All right, well, this is the life you lead when you play against mono white. Pretty brutal, all things considered. Though if they had like led Archon and didn't have a Chancellor, then we just Fury and play turn 1 food chain, so. I assume we're getting Wastelanded, right? No? Okay. Getting this down means that even if they Wasteland me, if I draw land off the top, I have the win. They know my hand, right? So they know I have at least one recruiter still. What did they top deck? Like an initiative creature doesn't do it here. A Thalia doesn't do it here. They have to Wasteland me and hope I don't draw a land, right? All right, we have the potential to win the game here. Simian Spirit Guide or land off the top wins the game. Can't cast this Mana Crypt because it costs 3. Fury. Oh. They're dead, right? Fury, pitch cast Squee, kill their board, kill them. Stack like this. 3 and 1. Okay. Kill that. And then we sacrifice our Fury to Food Chain. For red mana. And then we make infinite mana with Squee. And then we play Recruiter and Ballista them. Damn. Our deck is sick. Look at that. We actually got the food chain kill. And we got the Fury evoke and eat with the food chain. Let's go. That's just how we drew it up. That's beautiful. Ah, yes. All right, here we go. 4th round now. 3-0. Can we trophy? This hand doesn't work, unfortunately. This one's probably fine, though. I have the ability to... I have the ability to play turn 1 Recruiter for whatever hate piece is the best against my opponent's deck. I don't know if that will be fast enough, considering they kept 7, but... Probably not. I guess technically if I draw another Moxen or Spirit Guide, I could maybe play turn 1 Recruiter for Oof. They're just going to tinker me on turn 1. Ooh, Nettle Cyst. That's nice. I don't have like pointed artifact removal in my main. Post board, we get a bunch of Ingot Chewers and stuff. Oh, they're playing my deck and they're 3-0. Ah, just how it is. The only thing that can stop a Justin Brew is a Justin Brew. Yeah, that's a hell of a draw. I cook up good ones. What can I say? How do I get out of this game? Probably need to infinite combo them. So if I recruit... recruiting for an Oof doesn't do anything. And recruiting for a Magus doesn't do anything because they're already too far ahead. So what I should probably do is simply go Mana Crypt, land, pass, end step, questing druid, and then try to hit combo, right? On turn 1, you can't squee. I know what you're trying to infer to, but that's just, it's literally better than doing that. It's actually just better than doing that. Man, I hate, it's fine. The slasher school of thought. You're memeing, but like, you like, people do this in the Discord, and then people think it's real, and then like misleads people. I hate it. Six mana. That can't be good. All right, so my opponent made a mistake here. You can actually use these nettle cysts to improvise this Kappa Cannoneer. Am I blowing through the top end? I shouldn't be blowing through the top end. So unless I win the game on the next turn, I'm like super dead, right? All right. So end of turn, cast Seek the Beast. We're looking for a food chain. I hit Orcish Lumberjack Stomping Ground. Well, those are not the cards we needed. I also can't lose a mana crypt flip, or I will die to an unblockable Cannoneer. I'm just not hitting the cards we need, huh? So... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Collector, oof, double block. I mean, the problem is we just can't win if we do that. So, like, we can play Druid, Lumberjack. We could play Questing Druid, and I guess we could play Lumberjack and Recruiter. The problem is if I chump, I can't win. I only have 5 mana, so it's not like I can play. If I could play like Recruiter, Questing Druid, and Lumberjack. All right, I'm just gonna concede because I can't actually win from here. But yeah, so we have some good cards to bring in this matchup. Collector Roof is fantastic. Ingot Chewer is fantastic. Pyroblast, it's fantastic. Mindbreak Trap, Reclamation Sage, like all our cards are gonna be very good here. This is definitely a matchup where we're just gonna check out the food chain and just bring in all of the stuff that does something. Magus is amazing in this matchup as well. So we have to get 2 cards. Fury, I'm not actually sure is very good in this matchup, right? Because their things are going to be super big right away. I guess it does kill like a bunch of flyers, like thought monitors and stuff. So what do we trim then? Like this matchup should get really good post board because we just have lots of very targeted hate that's quite good against my opponent's deck. My opponent's playing the deck that I got second in the challenge with, the aggro 8 cast deck. Maybe the answer is just questing druids. Because these other cards are going to be so good. Assuming the mana is correct. I guess theoretically, I could cut the basic mountain. There's no reason to have a basic mountain in my deck. Basic mountain is basically only... Basic mountain is only really there for if my opponent is wastelanding me and I need to find a second basic and like want to fetch red mana that can't get wastelanded. All right. So what do we got? We've got a Lumberjack, a Mindbreak Trap, Collector Oof. Yeah, this hand's good. I think it still like takes down a bunch of thought monitors or kills or 1-for-1s a creature. I think it's still good. So yeah, I do think it's still fine. Obviously, it's not as good against my like because they can have like you know, patchworks and stuff, but patchwork. But even like Fury, Pill, Patchwork, and Pay is still pretty good. That's it? Play around Mindbreak Trap? What a god. Magus. So the first thing we do is we Oliphant and get another land. And then I have 4 mana if I want 4 mana. It's kind of an awkward amount of mana. Because I can't play 2 creatures. I guess theoretically, I was kind of looking forward to hard casting the Fury here, but maybe we just pitch cast the Fury, pay for the ward cost, and play the Oof. That turns off the Mana Vault, leaves them with a Workshop. What do we pitch cast? I mean, we're pitching away the Recruiter because we would like to Magus and Oof them if possible. They're on what? Triple Dismember is probably the sideboard plan. It's pretty unfortunate. Maybe I'm not supposed to do this. It definitely is a cost to get rid of our land. Collector Roof, if it resolves, does stop them from making blue mana pretty much. I just don't know if this is winning exactly. I guess it's hard to kill a Collector Roof that resolves unless they have a Saga. Oh, they have a Tolarian Academy. Okay. Tolarian Academy Ancestral. Noted. Oh boy. All right, well, I have a Magus of the Moon in play, and I have a Collector Roof in play. Though this does let my opponent dismember. The land Ancestral was brutal. Especially because Seat of the Synod was turned off, so it had to be Academy or Basic Island. Alright, so my opponent is not restricted on blue mana. But they are at least don't have at least don't have workshop. But I mean I think we're just super dead here. I guess. Triple Patchwork Automaton? We don't have like a lot of mana either. Like, because I kept using Lumberjacks. I guess we're just super doomed. I guess this deck is unbeatable. I don't know. They played around Mindbreak Trap every turn in this game too. Oh, I win this game. I don't know. Patchwork Automaton is great against removal. And they can even like cast thought casts, and they can cast everything. I'm not actually restricting them in any way by having an Oof and a Magus in play, which is not the case normally. They can seriously play any card in their deck. All right. I think we're done. I think we're done here. That's got to be up there in the draws you can have against this deck for sure. We wouldn't even win if we had like Vigor or something. All right. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that would be a bad matchup because we were playing Collector Roof Magus of the Moon against the Seed of the Cyanod deck. But this specific draw lines up really, really well. Not much to do. All right, here we are, fifth and final round with our Applejacks red-green food chain deck. This hand's really slow, but it has a Fury. Let's give it a shot. Cavern of Souls. Okay, that's a good sign for our Fury. This is like a new mono white player. Let's see what they choose. Human. Okay, so lesson for anyone who hasn't seen this lesson before, but if you are playing mono white, you want to cast your Moxen before you play your Cavern of Souls, because this will incentivize your opponent, decentivize your opponent from forcing your Moxen. In this sequence, if I was a blue opponent, I would know that I can't counter their human, so that I would be more interested in forcing their Moxen, which is not something that the mono white player traditionally wants. All right, so another mono white matchup. My opponent's going to play a turn one boy. Human, though, so Anointed Peacekeeper, I assume. It's going to name Fury, then we're going to be pretty far behind, but we can like work towards our food chain. Did my opponent name human and then pick a non-human? Ah. Okay. All right, a Lumberjack would be a good draw so that we can try to steal the initiative. If they forge onto this, unfortunately, it would be really bad for me that they forged onto this. So I think I just have to shoot this thing down right now. Not good for me because I would like to have held this Fury, but it's not like we drew our Black Lotus or something and could have just played Food Chain. Though if we had drawn Black Lotus, it would have been pretty sweet, huh? Black Lotus, Food Chain, Fury. Turn that into Magus, Questing Druid, maybe. One top, one bottom. I don't really have high hopes for this game because even if I do play a Questing Druid this turn, it's likely they have a follow-up creature. Oh my god, am I gonna get Peacekeepered here and I have to fetch a non... This is the worst game. Maybe I was not supposed to play a fetch and I should have instead played a forest. I don't know. Like, I have to do this so I don't get my thing, but then I just get wrecked because I have a Misty and not a Wooded Foothills. All right, I think we're super doomed in this game, unfortunately. Yeah. How do I win this game? Don't know. I probably just can't. It's kind of awkward because my draw was actually good against mono white and the fact that I had a Fury, right? But not good enough. I think what I'll do is I'll seek the beast and try to high roll into... Can you pitch cast Fury from exile? How does Evoke read? This is fine if I find another Fury, right? Oh, it's not fine. I didn't cast it in response. Okay, well, now I'm doomed. I needed to cast... Okay, I wasn't beating that anyways. I need to cast Seek the Beast in response to Thalia because it makes him more mana. But I'm not beating Archon anyways, so it's fine. We were not winning this game. Okay. Yeah, that was brutal. I think the only thing is we just want to have Mindbreak Traps And we don't need... I guess we do want Collect Roofs on the play, though. So in that case, can just trim a squeeze. Yeah, that was a really good mono white draw, though. Had pretty much everything. Not a good sign when our Fury draw doesn't beat mono white. All right, what does this one have? This one has a lot. Sweet. Okay, so reveals Chancellor of the Annex. Does that mean we have to just... I mean, we can make this Lumberjack resolve, but my problem is, what if we just get Wastelanded, right? I guess I could fetch basic Mountain, play Lumberjack, and then Oliphant for a... something that I can sack. That, like, it makes me the least exposed. Doesn't look good. Maybe they, like, won't Wasteland me. I guess I can't get my basic forest off this mount Oliphant any. Oh, wait, I can get basic forest and use the spirit guide to play the lumberjack. Okay, never mind. Get a basic forest, cast this off spirit guide, and pay the 1 with the basic forest. Okay, I'm stupid. Sweet, that's perfect because that lets me not get wastelanded, and then I can cycle and get a taiga and turn that into mana. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah. Again, what is this? This is just hard cast Solitude, kill my Lumberjack. Excuse me. Yep. Okay. All right, Lumberjack down. So if I draw... I guess I can't draw Collector Roof, huh? Okay. I will just cycle this Oliphant for a mountain. They only have 1 card left in hand. How bad can this be for me, right? Is that it? They didn't just keep 5 mana solid. I guess they can keep 5 mana Solitude against the creature deck, actually. Yeah, maybe that's fine. All right, I'm going to do Simian Spirit Guide, Seek the Beast on the end step. Hits land. Okay. What do I want to do? I guess we just play Magus. I don't really feel like playing Food Chain is that good here. So I lose out on a land. Yeah. Jesus, that's a good draw. All right. I need to draw... Bro, I don't know what I need to draw. It's all bad. It's all really bad for me. Fury, I guess. I need Fury right now. Does this... This doesn't win, right? If I food chain my Magus to 4 mana... And then I recruit. Wait, I can make an infinite, right? So if I went food chain, my Magus, 4 mana. Recruiter, get, squee. Up to 5 mana. Questing druid, squee, infinite. So I can at least make an infinite this turn. And I can also make an Oliphant. And so that next turn it has trample. All right, hold on. Let's see if that's true. So if I play a food chain, I have 0 mana. I then make my Magus into 4 red mana. I cast Recruiter, leaving 1 red mana. And then I search a squee. With my squee... Am I actually short a colorful mana? Because I need to have a green mana for Questing Beast. Or Questing Druid, and I need 2 red mana for squee. If I play food chain and I make quad red. No, what if I play food? I can't. I have to make quad red because recruiter requires red. And then I could make quad green, but then I can play questing druid, but I can't play squee. But I'm trying to play questing druid. Oh, I can just play it in any time. I don't have to play it first. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was like stuck on like playing it first for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, so this questing druid goes and gets a squee. Wait, what if I get like another recruiter? Does that help me in any way? There's no point, right? Well, there's no point not to. Or no, there's no point in doing. Yeah, each time it makes a mana, right? Does that help me though? Doesn't actually help me. So if I use a recruiter to get a recruiter, then I use a recruiter to get a recruiter. Does it leave me with an extra blocker? I don't know. Yeah, I'm aware I'm making infinite mana of both colors. I'm just trying to see if I make an extra blocker. Because each one of these recruiters is +1 mana, right? So the first recruiter gets the second recruiter. All right, whatever. It's fine. Because if I make 3 recruiters, then I'm up 3 mana, but that would mean I would need 5 recruiters, right? I don't want to like limit my... All right, whatever. I don't care anymore. I'm going to get a squee. Play a squee. Always yield. All right, well, now I just need to do this a million times. There's no way for me to auto-select red, right? So the problem is there's a fast click button, but I think it automatically makes white mana every time. So first, I'm going to see if I can get up to... I mean, they can't concede because they can at any point draw Solitude, right? All right, so... Put this over here. I guess if I make enough red mana, I can make some white mana. Where's the best place to put this? Over here? Maybe I just need to put it over here. Right near this thing. Well, so there's a button that makes this one click. I don't think it makes this part one click, unfortunately. But there's a button that makes this. So if I hold W, it technically makes the first part of the food chain one click. But it's not going to help me because it's just going to make white mana every time. And that's going to make more clicks, right? All right, what's the number that we should go to then? Like, it has to be like 40 or something, right? A 40-40? So, like, if I put W on right now, this food chain... Let's hold W. So I can food chain this, but yeah, it automatically makes white mana. So it doesn't actually help me. So there's just no point. No. So there's no button that lets me default to red. And there's no button that lets me default to using this mana. So. All right, I think I'm just going to cast this a couple more times to get this thing to a lethal attacker no matter what. And then we'll pass. Yeah, like the worst thing that could happen is my opponent finds another Solitude off the top and Solitude's my questing druid. I'm just gonna go to 40. I don't think there was any way that I could have like won the game this turn, right? Because there's no way for me to turn one creature into two creatures besides... Yeah, there was just no way for me to turn one creature into two creatures. And I think I could have like gotten another recruiter, but I don't think that matters. I mean, this isn't... Yeah, I guess in theory, this is lethal in paper because I have a million, and if you solitude it, you can never deal enough damage. I have a billion, and if you solitude it, you can never do enough damage. But so you would make a billion, and then even if they were to solitude and give you a billion life, they can't kill you before they deck out, right? All right, so I made a 40-40. It's going to have trample next turn because of Oliphant, so this should be good enough. Let's see what happens. They do get to scry, go down to the Lost Well, look for a Solitude. They chose not to. Does that mean they already have a Solitude in their hand? Tabernacle? That doesn't do anything. Nice. We can do it again if things go badly. Haha! Got him! Wait, we did a really cool thing, too. Well, I had a ballista. I just couldn't search it in game 1 or game 2. Like in that one, I was gonna win the game even if they solituded now because I could have just gone Imperial for ballista. I don't know. Can't tell you. All right, on the draw against. I mean, realistically, what they should have done is they should have gone down the Lost Well and tried to find a Solitude. Because they easily beat me. And I don't easily beat me. I can still draw another like a recruiter or whatever. But I mean, it's clear to me that my opponent is not a vintage player because I don't think you would ever bring in Tabernacle there if you played vintage before. So this hand is actually kind of good, but I don't have any payoffs, so it's probably just not good enough. Probably just mulligan it. This hand has a lethal kill in it, but what's the chance I actually make it to this kill? Probably kind of low, but it's probably worth doing on the draw here. They opened with a Chancellor of the Annex. That's really bad for me unless I draw something helpful. What the? They keep leading with the lands and then playing Chrome Moxes. Spirit Guide. Okay. Damn. I feel like we'd be in a really good spot if they didn't have a Chancellor because we'd be able to just slam an oof on turn 1 here, but I guess we can wait. If my opponent doesn't do anything on the... they're going to do something on the next turn here. Yeah. Archon. Okay. Archon is pretty good against my food chain combo. I'm gonna have to draw Fury. Fury wins the game here, right? If I draw Fury, I Fury pitching Squee, kill Archon, and then I can fetch, play Food Chain, and play Infinite Squeeze. It's pretty good. They didn't hit a land drop. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right, we're doing it again. Fury, pitch Squee. Kill the Archon. Play Wooded Foothills. If they have to Solitude my oof in response here. Taiga. Food Chain. All right. Now I just need to make a lot of mana. Oh, chat, I have to make so much mana. I have to make, what, 40 mana? No, I need to make, can you Solitude itself? They can, right? So it's, 46 mana. You can't Solitude yourself? What if they have 2 Solitudes? And they Solitude their own Solitude? Yes, if they have a Mind Break trap, it's bad for me. I agree. But they could just Mind Break, like... Yeah, I guess they could. They can't Mind Break trap a Squeeze, so... I wish I had a Imperial Recruiter so that I could, like, reveal that I'm getting a Walking Ballista. But so each of these click-throughs makes me 1 mana. And each of these click-throughs costs 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, 4, 5 clicks. That's not that bad. Like, normally you could do, I guess you couldn't do like a shortcut where you play the Ballista, but you can't do that here because Food Chain only uses mana for creature spells. So I really have to make the Lethal Ballista from hand. It's not really a shortcut, but it's like a way to show your opponent you have a Ballista. We're getting there. We're almost there. It's fine. We'll be okay. It's not actually taking that long. If I get Mind Break Trap, though, it will be comic. It's actually kind of funny that they have a Caracas, but they like don't have any time to get rid of this squee. Like this squee is infinitely recurring itself in front of this Caracas, just like taunting it. So if I cast this Walking Ballista for 46 mana, is that the number? Or did we decide that we have to do more than that? Is it enough for Solitude to Solitude? I don't really think my opponent is going to Solitude to Solitude, but why can't they do that? Oh, is it like a non-elemental or something? Oh, they don't have enough cards. Fair enough. All right, one more time. We play this out, and then we're gonna cast this Walking Ballista for 46. Is there any easier way to cast this? Yeah, what if they Solitude and Plow? Click, 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 click. All right, Ballista for 23. Let's go! We just had that one loss to the 8-cast deck. Banger. Absolute banger of a deck. You do love to see it. What? Why you gotta be like this, Snipping Tool? Give me the clout. Does it count if it's my own deck? No, it doesn't count. All right. Final thoughts on this 4-1 experience. It was not a close 5-5-0 because we did get manhandled by the aggro 8-cast deck, but this deck is sweet. It's really cool. I wonder if you could do something fun like this in Legacy, right? Technically, only these cards are the ones banned, and you don't have to play Magus and Collector Roof. I feel like it's something sweet. The problem with Legacy is they have all kinds of like creature removal in Legacy, but I really like this idea. It was really fun. I had a good time. Do I have any more thoughts? I mean, it's clearly amazing how good this entire cycle is. This whole land cycling cycle from Lord of the Rings is just unbelievable. They're so good. It's just incredible. The Questing Druid wasn't amazing today, but I think that's like mostly to do with the fact that we kind of need a bunch of mana in our deck and a bunch of like hate pieces. The questing druid seems like it'd be really good if it was like a slower format. I guess it was really nice that it was another way of going infinite with Squee, where it makes infinite counters. So that was actually a really cool part of it too. Imperial Recruiter was great. Fury was great. Everything kind of did exactly what we thought it would do, and it was really sweet. So if you like this and want to see more vintage content, make sure you check out my YouTube channel where new videos go out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.